But before all of that got popping, child, it was a mess, okay? So come with me as I walk you through our empty condo tour. Okay, so literally, let's count how many times I say literally. Or like, I say that a lot too. But this is the day that I got my keys to my condo. And she was supposed to give it to us. I was supposed to get the keys earlier in the day. My dad thought he was going to have, a whole day to get started on, all of the things that we wanted to do, the painting and whatever else we had, planned for the day. But we did not get the keys until literally like 5 o'clock per the stipulations in the contract. It was kind of crazy, but that's what ended up happening. So we got the keys at 5 o'clock and my dad immediately went to work. We wanted to get a jump start on the painting and the prepping and, the taping, the masking, all the things that go along with doing that. Luckily, my dad has a paint gun. But even with a paint gun, sometimes things just take a while. Like my dad, he is definitely going to prime. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of priming going on. Here he is spray painting the ceiling gray. And I asked him to do that because I didn't want a white ceiling with the color that I had chosen for the living room. I wanted it. There was a certain aesthetic that I was going for, and white or any other color ceiling just wasn't going to work for what I was trying to do. So as you can see, he has primed the walls for the Limewash in the living room. And this is a tip. I was heavily cautioned, like make sure that you use this specific primer with the Limewash. I was, initially thinking about just being cheap and not purchasing the primer because first of all, Limewash is already expensive. Secondly, the primer wasn't cheap either. So to have to, in the living room, the living room area, that's kind of large. So to have to, make any kind of unnecessary purchases, I was just kind of like, but I was heavily cautioned. Make sure you get the primer because the primer reacts with the elements in the Limewash. So, if you want that texture, those beautiful strokes, how it kind of looks like suede when you're using Limewash. If you want the chemicals to react correctly, make sure you prime. And let me tell you something, that is very, very true because my dad, when we were painting the fireplace, like there was just a little portion at the bottom that my dad forgot to put primer on. He was like, it probably don't matter. Let's just put the Limewash on there. And when I tell you, it did not react. It did not take on the same, texture that it had previously done on the other walls. I was like, wow, they were not lying. They were telling the truth. So if you are interested in Limewash, and I got my Limewash from Portola Paints. And there's also, again, there are different types of Limewash. Like, I believe you can get it in a clay format and then you add water and then you do whatever you need to do. I didn't have that particular kind, so I don't know if you prime and do all the same steps with that one. But with what I got, you need to use that primer. If the paint store is telling you you need to use a primer with whatever format or whatever, shape you get the Limewash in, take their advice. Trust me, because I definitely saw the difference, and I'm very glad that I went on ahead and bought, because like I said, Limewash is not cheap. And so could you imagine how much money I would have wasted if I did not get their primer? Yes, exactly. And interesting fact is that, I mean, the name says it, Limewash, right? But Limewash is not paint. It is not paint. It is literally lime. So yeah, so also, if you want to, Limewash is temperamental. So how can I say, like, it's very difficult to clean because you're not just wiping down paint. For example, I got some Limewash on my pants, right? And I was like, dang, I messed these pants up. Once it dried, the Limewash flaked off pretty much like it was mud, like it was clay. So in order to care for the walls, you know what I mean? Like, me, I was raised washing walls, and I was washing walls with chemicals. You know what I mean? Fabuloso, whatever chemicals we had at the time, that's what I was wiping them down with, dishwashing detergent, whatever, Lysol. But I am not going to be able to treat these walls in the same manner. So they will get wiped down. I'm going to have to figure something out, because they haven't been wiped down just yet. But actually, I have wiped some of them down, but I've just been using water. So, yeah, Limewash has a few temperamental elements about it. Also, when you paint Limewash, if you look in the video, if you start a wall, you have to start and complete that wall. You always have to keep a wet edge, meaning you cannot let the edge dry and then try to paint over it and think that it's going to be okay. It creates like a crust. So it just don't do right, basically, okay? You have to make sure that when you complete the painting job, like, you start the wall and you finish the wall. Make sure you have enough energy when you start to start that wall and finish that wall. And if you need to take a break before you start the next wall, do that, because it's going to mess up your design. And like I said, Limewash is too expensive for you to just get around here and just be playing games, So that's another tip. If I think of any others, I will circle back. But I absolutely, I do not regret, even with a dog, right? Because I was like, we got this dog. Ain't no telling what he gonna do on these walls. And our dog is actually he loves to play, but he's pretty tame. We've never really had any issues with him destroying walls. If you have kids, I don't know if Limewash is for you, because kids be drawing all on walls and doing all kinds of stuff. I don't know if Limewash is for you, because like I said, again, it's expensive. And you can't just scrub off that kind of stuff with paint. I think you can do little patch jobs here and there, but it's the repair is, it's very temperamental. So just heed that advice. Yeah. So now it's some days. I don't think it's any days later, actually. It might be. My dad has gone in, and this is controversial, okay? My dad was like, do not do this, Portia. And I was like, no, I'm going to do it because I want to do it. I wanted these floors black, but it was not in the budget to replace these floors. That was not in the budget. So I told my dad, I said, well, let's paint the floors black, right? Like, bright idea. Ding, 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 right? So he was like, that is just, don't do it. And I was like, we're gonna do it. So he went on ahead and did it. And here's the thing. In the process of doing this, while we went to the paint store to get the black paint, we were in the store, and their floors were painted this color, actually this same exact black. And the floor was beautiful, right? And see, I was like, see, Dad, I told you. And I had previously seen, people who had painted floors. But here's the trick. If you are going to paint your floors, definitely need to prime them and need to make sure you allow the primer to sit for the time that it tells you to sit. You need multiple coats of paint, right? And you need to make sure that, again, you're waiting in between, before you apply the second coat, before you apply the third coat, that you are waiting the time that it tells you to wait. Then you should definitely apply lacquer. Some kind of lacquer, some kind of top coat to seal it. Maybe 2 coats of that sealant, right? And between those coats, make sure you wait the proper amount of time. Then after that, before you move any furniture on the floor, there is something called a cure period. Y'all, that cure period, it's not a suggestion. It's not just a little happy like, that would be a good idea. No, you need to do that. You need to do that, okay? We didn't do that. We didn't do that because the turnaround time from the time that we got the keys to the time that we were moving, it was a very, very tight turnaround. Like I said at the beginning of the video, my dad was going out of town and we were also losing movers. Like we were losing some help. And so you guys can't see that this is Portia from the future. Y'all, these floors are all flaked up. There are so many dings on the floor, like just so many spots where the paint has come up. It really makes me upset. It really makes me upset because when you look at the floor could have just been mopped, but it looks like there are just things all over the floor, laying all over the floor. So that's what I'm going through right now. And luckily, I have these big rugs, in the living room and my dining area. I have rugs. But it bothers me because let me tell you something. I be sweeping and I mop these floors. And when I sweep and I mop them, I want them to look like they are swept and mopped. And they don't. They do not. I definitely think that, I do want to replace these floors. I just have to mentally prepare. Because like I said, when we replace the floors in the living room, you're going to have to move everything from the living room out either into the hallway or into the dining area and then put it back. And then you move on to the dining area. And then you have to move everything out of the dining area, put it in the living room, do the floors, and then put it back. And then the same thing with the second bedroom, same thing with the master, and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So that's my hesitancy there, but it will get done at some point. I just got to brace for it, Okay, and now we are moving into the dining area, and you guys, again, this is Portia from the future. I saw this aesthetic. First of all, there was a picture that I wanted. Oh my gosh, she was absolutely beautiful. She would have been the thing that cost the most amount of money. That's how expensive she was. She was so expensive, but I was willing to splurge and, go cheap on everything else. And I designed my whole dining room aesthetic around that picture. And when it came down to it, I waited to buy the picture because I was just like, let me do everything else and, just kind of see what the money is looking like, although I had kind of set it aside, but because it was going to be so expensive, I just kind of wanted to wait, right? And I'm so glad I didn't buy it, not because I didn't love the picture, I still love the picture to this day, but because you can see clear into the dining room from the living room area. She just clashed so much. Look at this picture, she's gorgeous. Oh, Lord. Mugsy. Y'all, my dog. Every time I try to record, here he come. How that song go? When I move, you move. Everywhere I go. That's why half the time when I do voiceovers, you will hear him snoring in the background. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I really am. He just, wherever I go, he goes. But anyways, back to the dining room aesthetic. So you see how beautiful she is, gorgeous. And this whole like color combination, the white walls with the black trim, with the taupes and the tans sprinkled in there. I was going to jack all of it. I was like, this is it. You know, I had already, my living room, you saw what color I did the living room. It's the gray Limewash. And I was like, that area is already dark and moody, right? It's very moody. We have so many lamps in here. And I was like, okay, I am going to try my best to keep these walls white. I don't really do white walls. Not really. Like, you see this right here? Well, y'all can't see it because we on this other clip. But like, in the kitchen, there's white walls with the blue cabinets. You know. So I feel like in that instance, it's okay. But white walls, in my last place, the only white walls in the entire place were in the bathroom. And then same like here, the kitchen walls are white and I had red cabinets there. But I just like a living room, a dining area, you know, like the wall white, like what? It just doesn't make sense. Like, I'm like, you have so many options. Why would you choose white? But I saw this and I was like, I am digging this. And y'all, again, Portia from the future, I don't know about these white walls in this dining area. And I was only keeping them white in the first place because I wanted that whole aesthetic. So anyways, that's the dining area. I love the plantation shutters. And this is the first time, like at our other place, we did have enough space to have, like, you know, a round table that sat four. I really enjoyed that table while I had it. Like, I really, really did. But I'm very excited to have a space that can accommodate a table for 6, especially with me hosting holidays now. It's helpful. And so now here we are entering the kitchen, and before, I think that the cabinets were white in here and the walls were green. Clearly, that's not me. Before I moved from my last place, I had already kind of started beginning to transition my kitchen from the red and the white and, you know, what it used to be. Maybe I can drop that in here. My old kitchen. Because like I said, the management company in that building, they decided that they were going to remodel. They had given us beautiful brand new cabinets. Beautiful. I mean, it was painful living through the remodel, but the end product was gorgeous. Deep cabinets. They were great. But, you know, they were white. They took, you know, my red cabinets. I think I eulogized those cabinets. I think I have that video. If I still have that video, I will drop that in here because I worked so hard on those cabinets. You understand? I worked so hard on those cabinets, painting them red. And I never wanted them to change. But I didn't have a choice because I was renting then. Like this condo we bought, I was renting then. I didn't have any control over that. And so when they put in the white cabinets, I was like, oh, I have an idea. I wanted to do like this blue aesthetic with kind of like black and white sprinkled in there with like gold and copper and, you know, like splashes of yellow. Like I just had this thing in my head that I wanted to do. And I had started on it, and then we ended up buying this place, and I never finished it, and, you know, c'est la vie. But I was like, that's exactly what I'm going to do here. girl, you held me down, girl. Oh, we worked it out. You was rough at first. You was rough. Last time. They coming to break her on down. I cooked my first real Thanksgiving with Big Red by my side. She held more than she should have. For me, she did that. Wave to the people. She's going on the floor, y'all. Okay, and moving right along. This is the hallway. Very happy to have a washer and dryer. At our last place, we didn't have a washer and dryer inside of the unit. I did end up buying a portable full-size washer and dryer that connected to the kitchen sink, and it drained into the kitchen sink, which was amazing. It was a great find. I found a stand, and they sat on top of each other, and it was very, very helpful. The only thing about that is that I definitely, if there's a hose that runs from the washer that drains out the water, right? And you can have it drain to the bathtub, you can have it drain into the sink, you can have it drain wherever, and it's great, right? But I remember 3 times I flooded my neighbor downstairs, you guys. This was just horrific. Some kind of way, the hose came apart in the middle, so all of the water from the washer went basically onto the floor and seeped down into her unit. This happened 3 times. And another time, it was in the sink, but I guess the pressure from the water draining into the hose, it just moved it so that it was slightly askew. And baby, all that water once again drained into my neighbor's unit. Y'all, it was so stressful that I stopped using it for months. I was like, yeah, no, I'm done. This just isn't for me. Until I came up with this kind of guerrilla-like system where I put a cutting board on top of the hose, then I put a brick on top of it, and then I was like, this will never move again. Okay, I taped that hose in the middle. I was like, you are never coming apart on me again. But yeah, I'm just so grateful to have a washer and dryer. I know washers still, things still happen, and it could very well flood, but it's just different. And I feel a lot more comfortable throwing in a load, and leaving the house, or throwing in a load and going to sleep than before. And here we are entering, that little bathroom. I'll give y'all a tour of that later. Right then and there. That was a guest bathroom, and it was basically a workstation, so there was really nothing to show you. But this is the master bedroom. And one of the things that I loved about this unit when we were taking our tour was this little nook over here in the corner. It looks a lot smaller in this video, but it's so quaint. It's a quaint little nook. I put a chair, a love seat right there, and so yeah, y'all will have to come back for the actual full tour to see it furnished, to kind of see what I did with that window. But continuing on, it's a nice sized bedroom. This rug is 9 by 12, so that should give you a sense of how big the space is. And there is a master bathroom. Nothing really to see yet because it's I didn't even walk in there, sorry. But okay, here's my one complaint about this unit. Oh, and also I neglected to mention this when we were looking at the living room, But in addition to painting the floors black, I also painted all of the doors black. So all of the doors in the unit, bedrooms, bathroom doors, the entryway door, all of those are black. But one of my only complaints, I don't even go, huh? Anyways, so one of my complaints about this unit is the lack of storage. You guys, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, okay? I don't like it at all. It's ridiculous. It is just like, I feel like we had more storage space at our old place, even though the square footage was a lot smaller in general. I feel like we had more storage there than we did here. And it's just like, how is that even possible? Y'all, first of all, if y'all know me, I'm a fashionista. Like I got all the things. I got the vintage things. I got the clothes. I got the coats. I got the shoes. I got all of the things, the purses. Okay. And in our little one bedroom apartment, all my stuff fit. The closet was amazing. It was adequate. It had all that I needed to fit everything there. Move here, honey. I have had to be so creative with the way that I'm putting things away. It's just backwards. It's so backwards. Nobody moves into a new place with less storage. This place is bigger than our other place, but it has less storage. It's just such an interesting dynamic. It's so strange. So, yes, but that's really my only complaint. Like the cabinets in the kitchen, the linen closet is smaller. The master bedroom closet is just small. It's just small, y'all. And I'm having a really hard time with it. But I think at the end of this video, I think I got a shot of how small that closet is. Like I just can't take, like what? I don't know. I do know. Also, this is the same Limewash color that I used in the living room. Anyways, moving on. Here is the second bedroom, which we will utilize as a guest bedroom when guests come, and our office. You know, I work from home often, not every day, but I work from home often. Both me and my husband are in school. So, you know, we definitely need a dedicated space. That is what that will be for. And right now, as you can see, it is also a workstation. And here we are transitioning. So here is a somewhat updated video. Still, you know, around the time that we were moving in. As you can see, my dad here is applying the knobs. So those are a few cabinets without the knobs. Those are the knobs that I ordered. And as you can see, they're, you know, they kind of have like a vintage feel look to them. They are copper. And like I said, I was inspired by Felix's knobs from The Odd Couple. And there's also, I did order some pools. I don't know if you call that a seashell shape. I don't remember what you call it. But I'll try to drop those in here. And here we are, boxes galore. You guys, let me tell you where I messed up, okay? I tried to do a really good job of packaging the boxes and whatever was going in the boxes. I tried to make sure that I protected them well, okay? So what I did was that I overpacked. So I was wrapping all of this stuff. I was like, this is not breaking on me because I really like this. So y'all, I have so many extra boxes because of that. Because there was a lot of padding in there where instead of, padding, there could have been more items. So there were so many boxes. Like, I can't even believe how many boxes I had to go through and unpack. First of all, who is about to be box cutting, opening, breaking down, pulling out the stuff? That's so much, you guys. It's so much. I'm still not done unpacking. Like, if I can be real, like, there are no boxes here, but there are definitely things that are out of the box pulled to the side that I just haven't dealt with. But I think I definitely regret doing that, and next time I think that I just won't be so precious about the packing, except for with glass. Yeah, but no, that bit me in the butt to a certain degree, because nothing did break. At least none of the stuff in boxes broke. There are plenty of things that broke though. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that we did, because when we moved, both me and my husband were still in school. Like I said, 2024 was just a year of transition, huge transition, constant transition. I wanted to make sure that even if the boxes were all around, we needed a space that we could go to, that we could sit down and chill and, watch TV or put our feet up and just, like, relax. So that was one of the first things that I tended to, while we were doing this. And I'm actually, this couch and a lot of the furniture that we got for this condo, a lot of it came from Facebook Marketplace. And I wanted to make sure that I wasn't spending a ton of money on furniture. Like, first of all, I'm a thrifter anyway. But like, I just do that. That's my life. I do that. And again, I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money because, we have this mortgage now, and I wanted to be as frugal yet stylish as possible. So I'm actually going to do a video about Facebook Marketplace and how I utilized that marketplace to basically furnish our condo, really. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what you all think about it. And let me know. And so here we are. Oh, perfect. Look at this. This is a Facebook Marketplace find. I got this for I might have paid $100 for it. I'm not even sure if I paid that for it. And y'all, it's so funny because this lady, let me tell you, she packed this chandelier up. It was like pristine. You could tell that she was very particular and meticulous about, her home and her things. She did such a good job putting this together. I was so irritated because each piece of glass had to be put on piece by piece, and you had to screw it on. And also I probably should have just left it. She cleans with vinegar, and I could still smell some of it on there, which kind of bothered me, and so I washed all of them hand by hand, and then I dried it, and then I applied everything, piece by piece. And so I was just kind of irritated because I'm like, this is taking forever. I want this up already, blah, 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 blah. And while I was in the midst of it, I just remember God had a moment with me because I was feeling really unsettled. And I don't like to be unsettled. I'm okay if there are a few things that are out of not where they're supposed to be, but I need to know where they're supposed to go, and the fact that there's so many things that I had to come up with a new system for, and hadn't established these new systems, which means that things couldn't go where they were supposed to go. It was really starting to bug me. And that was honestly a lot of my 2024. 2024 was really just a year of constant transition and just rushing, trying to get from get through one transition and get to my next, but a lot of rushing. And so I distinctly remember God having this moment with me, telling me to slow down and stop rushing. And, it really hit me because there are a lot of things that if I were to slow down, I would really actually enjoy the process a whole lot more. Like, perfect example, when I cook. When I'm rushing, when I have to hurry up and cook and get this here and get this on the table by this time, I do not enjoy it. I do not enjoy it at all. But when I can slow down, take my time, you know what I mean? I actually really enjoy it. And I think he was really trying to just kind of impress upon me that whole, thing about enjoying the process, appreciating the process, which I never have. But I will say, for the first time, this vlogging experience, I am actually really enjoying this process. I do have a goal in mind, but as much as I want to reach that goal, I'm not rushing there. I'm not like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to hurry up and do this. I have really been enjoying this creative process of finding what works for me, exploring CapCut and all of the editing processes, and, discovering YouTube, finding other small YouTube creators. Like, it's really been an enjoyable process. And I think, that, spans other areas as well. Like what he was saying it can apply to almost every area of your life. So, I just want to share that. Because once I slow down and, I didn't rush through the process of putting together the chandelier, it actually wasn't that bad. I sat there at the table. I looked at the window. I enjoyed my tree. You guys, I have not named this tree. I look at it all the time. I think it should have a name. Y'all drop some names in the comment section because, I'm going to come up with a name for her or him. And so this is me just being silly. Like, who knows? I probably was delirious from unpacking all those boxes. But I actually had not intended on this corner being a photo wall. Not at all. The only reason this even ended up becoming a photo wall was because I was so tired of things sitting around that I on the floor and leaning on stuff. I was just like, you know what? Let me just put this up on the wall and I will change it later. And so once I put it up, I really liked it. I liked that the photo wall spanned the corner. I haven't really seen that too many times. Usually when you have a photo wall or a gallery wall, it's it's just that one wall. But I hadn't really seen, where it's in a corner and it goes from one to the other. I thought that was really unique. So I kept it and I like it. All right. So I am actually going to show you what I was talking about earlier, how when you're in the living room, you can see clear into the dining area. And that white wall right there is exactly where I wanted that picture. Drop it again right here, where I wanted that picture to go. And now you see exactly why she could not come. But, I love this unit because it has so much character. Like, I love that archway that you guys just saw going from the living room into the dining area. I love that the kitchen sits cat-a-corner. I love the plantation shutters. I love that my balcony is right by this beautiful, beautiful tree, which I find myself sitting at this table often. I get my coffee, I get my Bible, I get a book, I get a lot of things. I take my Zoom meetings a lot of times from this chair, and I just love looking out this window. I really, really do. And so, it's special for me. And I do it often. It gives me joy. And so, with that being said, moving is very interesting. Like, people keep saying, take your time, blah, 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 take as long as you need. And I get that, but I also want to be settled. Like, I really, 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 really want to be settled. Like, I'm tired of looking at stuff and it's out, And so there are several things, that, as you can see, they just don't have a home. We've ordered more storage for things to go in different places, and, You know, we just trying to work it out. We just trying to work it out. We just trying to live, you know.
I'm finally feeling free.
Ta-da. This is the closet that I'm talking about. Is it not ridiculous? It's ridiculous, okay? I don't like it at all. It's ridiculous. And I will actually, so again, this is when we had just moved in. So I just kind of stuffed everything into this closet because I knew that's not how I was going to keep it. But again, I just needed things to go somewhere away from my eyes. And there's my little stinky butt. I think he had an attitude. This was Halloween. He had a little attitude. I don't know why, because he picked this outfit. He picked out his own costume. So I don't know what his problem was. But anyways, this ran very, very long. I'm so sorry, you guys. Like, I know when I see people who have 45-minute vlogs, I'm like, I'm not about to sit there and watch that. What? That's too long. But I will be doing a fully furnished home tour, and so I hope you guys come back and check it out. And until I see you again, I hope you find something to do today that brings you joy. Bye-bye.